Am I coming through well?
Yep, can hear you. Good, thank you. We've got you for 10 minutes, but of course, if you can finish a little bit earlier, it presents us with the opportunity to ask questions.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Cale Smith, and I welcome the chance to speak on behalf of TOP, the Opportunities Party. TOP is a political party founded in 2016 that exists to champion and pursue policy that affords every Kiwi equal opportunity to pursue their potential in ways that are socially, economically, and environmentally sustainable. TOP earned the votes of over 60,000 New Zealanders in 2023 who believed in our vision to address political challenges at a fundamental and long-term level, rather than tinkering at the edges and favouring the status quo. TOP opposes the legislation and sees it as redundant and lacking the additional efficacy touted by supporters, while also raising legislative liability for our country. If passed, despite the well-documented and overwhelming opposition, it would undermine not only key democratic principles and the enduring precedent of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, but also some of the foundational principles of the bill itself. The bill is so resoundingly divisive that the opposition has already committed to repeal, potentially making this a complete and utter waste of time, money, and political capital. Simply put, there are two possibilities. One, either the bill achieves its presumed objective of constraining the regulation making of future governments more than already allowed by current systems, or two, the bill does not constrain future regulation and is ignored or repealed by future governments. The first possibility is the bill will constrain decision making in a way that is inconsistent with regulatory best practice and the expectations most New Zealanders have of their government. The bill is ideologically narrow. It only reflects one view of what regulation is, mainly protecting private property and limiting the role of government. It ignores the many other reasons we regulate, like protecting human life, preventing unsafe building, protecting the environment, or addressing inequality. It puts short-term economic interest above long-term public need. The bill arbitrarily protects the current economic setup, ignoring past injustices and how economies change over time. The present state of affairs and the decisions that have led to it are not deserving of special protection. Should the government have been impeded from introducing the regulatory changes that enabled ride-sharing companies to disrupt the taxi industry, allowed the initial introduction of the Hauraki Gulf Marine Sanctuary, or enabled our space sector to emerge? Should a future government be impeded from regulating emerging technology like AI to protect New Zealanders, to enable growth, or both? This bill opens the door to a concept of regulatory taking that is so broad it can impose near unlimited liability on future governments. Should existing payday loan companies, for example, have been compensated for the investments they made when annual interest rates were capped, when previously there was no regulation on what they could charge? Treasury, not normally known for their radicalism, argues a similar point by saying the bill could impose costs on agencies exceeding the potential and economic and societal benefit. The second possibility is that the bill will not prevent future governments from regulating as they please, as its provisions are not binding. If this happens, the bill will have merely proved a waste of this committee's time and public service resources used to develop and implement it. By failing to meaningfully engage and blithely ignoring opposition to the bill, its supporters have ensured the second scenario will be the reality sooner or later. The opposition has already confirmed they will repeal the bill. TOP is not opposed to the concept of regulating to improve the quality of regulation, although we are hardly convinced this bill will genuinely facilitate this. In any case, quasi-constitutional matters like this need to be executed with a view to building an enduring consensus that will survive multiple governments. Our primary recommendation is the bill be withdrawn as it fails on several essential fronts. Consultation has been poorly sought and seemingly disregarded. There is an unprecedented public rejection of the bill, with as little as 0.33% of public submissions in favour of the proposed legislation per the Ministry of Regulation's own regulatory impact statement. And lastly, the bill appears to propose several significant concerns, ironically introducing a layer of red tape. I thank the committee for your time and your genuine consideration. I welcome questions if you have any.
Thank you, Cale. Appreciate your submission, both written and today, oral. There doesn't appear to be any questions, but I'd like to thank you for coming in and submitting all the same.
Thank you all for having me.
Literally spelling out pretty much basically what's likely to happen.
That was really well put.
Good on those guys. I mean, they're always, sensible.
So there are now just ask as someone who's part of Labour, a potential coalition or confidence and supply partner.
Yeah, why can't my deputy PM be speaking like that?
I think maybe in about 20 years, Sam. Maybe, yeah. But I mean, they're pretty sensible, like they put a lot of effort into their policy development, from what I understand, and yeah, I read their manifesto a couple of times, and yeah, they put a lot of effort into it, and it's good, so good on them.
So put it this way: if your MMP voting paper had STV in it instead of ticks, they would get ranked ahead of, say, ACT or National.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if we're talking about telling people how to vote here, Sam, but that's up to each person to figure out.
There is one thing he mentioned, limiting the role of government. I think that was an interesting point to bring up. How would you say that he meant by that?
I think his words were limiting future governments.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to say was that the bill limits the ability of future governments to regulate.
That's bizarre. Yeah. Okay.
And I think what Parliament is not meant to do is to limit the ability of future parliaments to regulate or to make laws. And I think what this bill is doing is really placing a hard limit on future parliaments to regulate or to make laws. So I think that's where he was concerned.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Very.
Yeah. Well, we don't have time for another submission. So, would you like to join us for another hour, Nick, or you've got things that need to get done? Because I know you did a
Sorry,
bit door
Sam.
knocking.
I'm gonna have to pull stumps on this one and come back on a different day. But it's been fun, and it's been nice to see you, Sam, and good to see you, Theranus,
Cheers, Nick.
again. But yeah, maybe on a different occasion.
We'll see what bills it could be, and hopefully something more positive, not negative.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes' time, back with Laura.